Welcome, students, to today's lesson. We're going to be talking for a little bit about the main idea. That's what we're doing for the next few lessons. Let's dive in. Today, your I can statement is I can match a passage with its main idea. You're going to need to be able to understand that the main idea is the most important idea about the main topic of the passage. Together, we're going to practice finding the main idea the main topic and important ideas in a passage. And we will finally match a couple of passages with main ideas before you go off to practice on your own. So the main idea is this kind of like formula. It's the main topic plus the most important idea. Apologies for that noise. So the main topic plus the most important idea. That's what will give you the main idea. So what is a topic? And what's an idea? We've talked about these things in class before, but we haven't necessarily defined them, so let's talk about it. A topic is usually one or two words, sometimes a few more than that, but it's one thing, one object, one person, one place that the writing is mainly about. Okay, it's one thing. The idea comes next, and it's like a sentence about the topic. Okay? Now that was very abstract, so let's look at some examples. Excuse me again. Okay, so the topic would be one or two words, and it's the thing a piece of writing is about. So, for example, bananas, that's a topic. Baseballs, that's a topic. Mountains, that's a topic. An idea would be a sentence about a topic. They are tall land features made of rock. They help people grow big and strong. They're smaller than softballs. Okay, an idea is about a topic. Can you match my topics with my ideas? Each of these topics comes with one of these ideas. Let's see, bananas, well, they help people grow big and strong. Baseballs, they are smaller than softballs. Mountains, they're tall land features made of rock. Okay, you can imagine a piece of writing where this is the main idea, the one thing that the author wants to tell you about. And you can imagine probably some other pieces of writing where they're not the most important ideas. They're just one idea about the topic. So, your turn to pause and think. I have a list of things here. Which ones are topics? Which ones are ideas? Pause and see if you can figure it out. So, topics include the moon, the internet, A Wrinkle in Time, that's a book title. Zoom, beans, and lollipops. Oops, I have my colors backwards here. I'm so sorry. These are the topics. The ideas are sandwiches are good for your body, the best hockey player of all time is Wayne Gretzky, and the Earth orbits the sun once every 365 days. An idea is almost always longer than a topic. It's one way to tell. Okay, pause and match. I want you to take a moment and see if you can match these four topics with the four ideas that go with them. We have the Earth's orbit, the moon's axis, moon phases, and full moon. Ideas include, it's the phase of the moon a werewolf is most likely to howl at. These are the different shapes the moon makes in the sky. It lasts about 365 days, and it's the invisible line that the moon rotates around. See if you can match the main topic with an idea. The Earth's orbit is the thing that lasts about 365 days. The moon's axis is the invisible line the moon rotates around. Moon phases are the different shapes the moon makes in the sky, and the full moon, that's the phase of the moon a werewolf is mostly likely to howl at. Okay. Now it's time to start looking at passages. When we look at a passage, we want to figure out first, what is the thing? What main thing is the text talking about? And try to be specific. All these texts that we're going to be seeing are mostly going to be about the moon, but what topic underneath the moon are we talking about? Let's see if we can be specific. I'm going to read, and I want you to think about what's the main topic. The moon has phases. That means it looks like a little different to us each night during its 1 month orbit of our planet. We describe how the moon looks with terms such as full moon, first quarter, and new moon, which we can't really see because the side that is lit faces away from us. So what's the topic here? What is the main topic? The one thing that this text is mostly about? If you said the moon's phases, you're right. Again, the moon is an okay answer, but there's a more specific answer that the whole text is still about. Okay. Now, tell me the most important idea about the moon's phases that's in the text if you can. The moon has phases. That means it looks a little different for us each night during its 1 month orbit of our planet. We describe how the moon looks with terms such as full moon, first quarter, and new moon, which we can't really see because the side that's lit faces away from us. What do you think? To me, the most important idea is that the moon looks a little different each night. It's the idea of what the phases actually are. After that, we have examples of the phases. Now, examples are always interesting, but they're almost always in supporting details. They're almost never the main idea of the text. So examples of what we call the moon's phases are probably less important than the fact of what the phases are. Okay, your turn. What's the main topic? Don't say the moon. What's the main topic? The moon has no light of its own. Moonlight is sunlight bouncing off the moon's surface. As the moon orbits Earth, the sun lights up whatever side of the moon is facing it. To the sun, it's always a full moon. If you were looking down upon the Earth and its moon from way out in space over the North Pole, you would see that the moon looked like one of these. So the moon in space always looked like a full moon to the sun. What's the main topic? The main topic here is moonlight, or the moon's light. So, what's the main idea? What's the most important idea about the light that hits the moon? The most important idea is what the moon light is doing, or where the moon's light is coming from. We need to know the moon doesn't have light of its own. We can write that in the main idea. The moon's light doesn't come from the moon, but is rather from the sun. So you could write that as your main idea. The moon's light comes from the sun, not the moon. All right. Now for the fun part. Okay, here's your task today. You have an exit ticket that starts here. There's going to be 2 parts. I want you to match the passage with the main topic and idea. So this is a passage. There are 4 topics and 4 ideas. I want you to see if you can come up with the main idea based on this passage by putting together a topic and an idea. Passage A. The moon does not produce any light on its own. The light we see coming from the moon is actually light reflected from the sun, kind of like a mirror. The sun is the strongest source of light in our solar system. Every moon and planet that is visible in our solar system is reflecting light from the sun. The reflected light enters our eyes, and that is what allows us to see. This topic, the moon's light, the moon's phases, the moon's surface, or the moon's size, is the idea that something, the topic, only appears similar to the sun. The moon is actually much smaller. Is the idea that the topic are the shapes of the moon in the sky? Is the idea that the topic has many different markings? Or is the idea that the topic is reflected and comes from the sun? Passage B, I'd like you to match a topic and an idea that goes with this passage. Even though the moon and sun appear to be the same size from Earth, the sun is actually 400 times bigger than the moon. They look the same size due to an optical illusion. Objects that are close to you appear larger. You can experiment at home to prove that. Hold a quarter in your hand, 1 arm's length away. Ask a friend to hold a dinner plate on the other side of the room. Have the person move closer or further until the plate is the same size as the quarter. What's the main topic? Is it the moon's light, the moon's phases, moon's surface, or moon's size? What's the idea that goes with that topic? Is it that the The topic only appears similar to the sun. The moon is actually much smaller. The topic are the shapes of the moon in the sky. The topic has many different markings, or the topic is reflected and comes from the sun. Okay. Match the passages from the 2 previous slides with their main topic and idea. Then write out your main idea in a complete sentence. Have a photo or screenshot of your 2 main ideas ready for your teacher. So your answer would look like this. You can write A and B, and then you write the main idea. The moon's blah, 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 blah. Fill in the topic and the idea. And then the moon's blah, 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 blah. Fill in the topic and the idea for B. Make sure you have a photo if you wrote it down on paper, or a screenshot if you wrote it on your iPad of your 2 main ideas ready for your teacher.